Can't hear me? Hold on a second.
We're having an audio issue.
We're double checking. Looks like we're jumping.
Check, check, check.
Hold on a second. Let's check here.
Check, check.
Check. No, it looks like we're jumping right there. Maybe it's your
Friends, can you hear? If so, can you put a comment in?
No sound, no sound. Once.
Can you hear me? Hold on a second.
Check, check. Oh, we're back.
Oh, weird.
Okay. We've been having some major issues with
That's funky.
stuff. Okay.
No idea what happened there.
All right, but we caught it early. So
Yeah, we caught it early, so now we can talk about it. So what I was talking about was the introduction of the Pro-B3. This is a beast of a light. It is everything that I think most people were wanting as far as specs and stuff go inside of a light for a long time with a version of the B1. And so let's dive into this bad boy. Let's talk about it. So the first thing you're going to notice, it looks a lot like the Pro D3, and that's because for the most part, it is the 750 watt Pro D3 just with a battery on the side of it. It is a removable lithium ion battery that can be swapped out mid-shoot if you need. It also has, just like the B10, access to the charge point here at the bottom of the unit, so you can shoot and charge with this at the same time if you're in a situation that allows for it. But then again, you have all your pins under here, and it's just as simple as sliding into place and clipping in, and you have your battery. 250 full power flashes on this unit off of one of these batteries. And you might ask yourself, hey Chris, the B1X had 325 full power flashes with the battery. And the thing you have to remember is that this has more power output going through the capacitor, 750 watts. So turn it down to its equivalent at 500 watt seconds, you're going to see equal, if not better, battery life out of the battery on this unit. So you have to remember to compare this thing at 500 watt seconds and not at 200 or not at 750 watt seconds. So that's something to keep into consideration when you're thinking about battery life. But again, the other upside too is you have the ability to shoot and charge at the same time. So going around the light, you can see that we have our zoom scale 1 through 7 here. We have our light stand. I'm going to actually think I need to lift it up a little bit so people can see the light stand adapter. So a lot of the stuff that we've talked about with the, oh, hello. A lot of the stuff that we've talked about, what's going on? We're slightly out of focus. Cool. So just tap the screen.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of the stuff that we have done to the D3 is done to this as well. So the first thing being this new heavy duty light stand adapter. It has a rosette that locks it into place, making sure that this thing can really handle some really heavy modifiers. We've put the soft zoom 180 on the D3 and it held it with no light creep down. The exact same stand adapter, you can expect the exact same performance. On the front of the stand adapter, right here at the bottom, is the port for your light stand adapter. Like a lot of our stuff, we use a pressure pin. We don't use a screw to kind of screw the umbrella into place, but that pressure pin is pretty strong and good at holding that into place. The nice thing about the light stand adapter, it's removable. So if something were to ever happen to it, it were to get damaged, you can actually remove this yourself, put a new light stand adapter on it, and you're good to go. That's also true for the handle for the B3, the D3. They're all removable yourself. So one, if the handle's in the way and you don't like it, you could take the handle off. But if something were to happen and the handle were to become damaged, you wouldn't have to send that to us to take care of. You could fix that yourself. Speaking of fixing yourself, let's move to the front of the unit. So the front of the unit, our standard 100 millimeter mount, removable front glass that allows for access to the flash tube, so you can change the flash tube yourself. It also gives you the ability to throw on the dome accessory, which is this bad boy right here. So you could attach the dome to the front of the unit and get a little bit more light spread out of the edges, kind of help fill up some specialty modifiers. When it comes to things like soft boxes, a lot of the stuff that people are using generally, the flat front does more than enough. So beam angle, I'm just gonna double check this to make sure I'm not gonna say the wrong thing. Cool, yeah, that's what I thought. So your beam angle coming out of the front of this thing is 65 degrees, but light doesn't stop at 65 degrees. So we measure your beam angle is from what side to what side before you lose a stop of light. And once you lose a stop of light, we call that the beam angle. But then all the rest of the light that falls off the edge is your field angle, and that's about 100, 105 degrees. So it throws light really, really wide. So things like soft boxes, umbrellas, stuff like that, you don't have to wonder if you should be using a dome attachment, because a lot of times the light's hitting that inner diffuser, that light's bouncing around all inside the soft box and shooting out into the front, doing a good job of filling the box. Things like a 1x6, even with a domed light like a Pro head with the exposed flash tube out in the dome, still you're going to get light falling off towards the edges of a 1x6. It's just a big modifier is what happens. So the flat front and things, again, that people use a lot, not a problem. Let's see, let's keep moving around. On this side right here, just blank with the Pro-B3. And on the back, you have your control setup. Actually, before we go to the back, because I'm gonna go to another camera that I have, another B3 setup, so you can actually, we can talk about the insides if you want, but let's go to the bottom of the flash. So on the bottom of the flash, you have a, I don't think you can necessarily see it because I think the handle's in the way, but right here towards underneath the handle is a USB-C port. It's a service port. So if you needed to send it into service, we could go inside and do some stuff. But if you're installing a firmware update over the air with the Profoto Control app and the update fails and you can't reconnect it through the app, what you can do is you can just install the firmware from your computer and recover the flash. So if your firmware fails on upload from the Profoto Control app, you'll recover it from that USB-C port right there. And then at the bottom right here, you'll notice there is a sync port for you to plug in external triggers, or if you have like an older camera that has a PC sync and you want to run a cable to it, you just have a mini jack right there you just need to convert to, and you are ready to rock and roll. I heard a little giggle over there. Did someone say something funny? Caitlin? Or are we good?
I think you're hearing giggles in your head. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe I am hearing things.
Excited. People want to see this thing.
Maybe I am hearing things. I feel like even though I slept well, I feel underslept. Let me move to the back of the flash over here on this camera so you guys can see some more stuff here. So currently we're asleep. So firing it up is, if you've never used a Profoto light before, controlling our light's really, really simple. We kind of build everything that we do and how you use the unit first, and then we build all the stuff on the inside of it. So powering up and powering down, just like you would expect from a battery powered light, you would hold this light down for a moment, and that's gonna allow it to power up. That's built there so you don't accidentally turn your light on while you're in transit and have a dead battery whenever you get somewhere. Your controls are very, very simple. So this is your on-off button, also your test button. What a lot of people will do is they'll press the test button and they won't get a flash. The flash, as you can notice, happens on release. So when you press and hold it, it starts the power down sequence. So that's why when the first press, it's not going to fire the light on the press, it fires it on the release. So just something to keep in mind if you're hitting the test button and it's acting wonky, you're like, why is it not testing? It's because if you're holding this button down, it starts the power shutdown of the unit. So something to keep in mind. The over here on your right is your continuous light. This thing has a 6,300 lumen daylight balance continuous light. There is no, it's not bicolor. We wanted to make sure that you got the most light output possible. That made sense for the battery capacity and everything else like that. So 6,300 lumens, daylight balance, and then you can control it here. Oh, it's in proportional mode. I was like, why is everything changing? Let me get out of proportional mode real fast. There we go, prop. There we go, free mode. So if you're controlling it here, you can just simply twist it for single increment adjustments, and then you can press and turn it to kind of course tune the power up and down. It's a really clean LED, really beautiful light. I've used it to roll a little bit of video myself. It's a nice quality LED. Then here in the center, you have your power controls. You have an 11 stop power range. So from 10 all the way down to 1.1. So you're talking, 750 watts down to, what is this, like 0.8 watts or something like that. It's pretty insanely low, which is really, really cool. And then again, you can do it in 1/10 of a stop increments, or you can press and turn for full stops. easy stuff. Inside the menu is the basic stuff that you're used to seeing. You're used to seeing, you know, your air groups and channels, your air activation on and off, all your Bluetooth stuff. One thing I want to show is the flash modes. So you have this eco mode, boost, and freeze mode. So eco mode is a patented thing that we came up with to extend the components inside of your flash. So the idea behind this is in eco mode, which is the normal mode that the flash is going to come in. So if this light is at full power, eco mode is going to make full power equivalent to, is going to make it equivalent to 9.7. So it's not going to fully charge the capacitors for a full powered flash. So it's going to take you up to about 9.7, even though the number will say 10. You'll be able to see all the numbers the way that you're used to seeing it, but it really only charges the light up to about 97%. What that does is allows the capacitors to last a ton longer. All the components last a ton longer, giving, you know, up to 4 times the life out of the flash itself. All of our new lights have that. So from the D3 to the B3, the Pro-B3, and also the D30, they all have the eco mode, which is a really nice thing to have. Again, extending the life of your investment. Other thing to talk about too, along with the eco mode, one thing I didn't touch on with the flash tube, it is a quartz flash tube. So stuff like the D30 and the B10, they come with a Pyrex flash tube, a standard long life flash tube. But what a quartz flash tube is going to do is going to give you kind of along with the 4 times component life here on the inside, a quartz flash tube gives you 4 times the flash life of a standard Pyrex flash tube. So this has super heavy duty components on the inside and also a long life quartz flash tube on the front to really kind of hang in there with you for as long as you can. You can see here under, and sorry, let me finish up the eco mode thing. So in here, if you are in a shoot situation where you need the full power of the light, you need those 0.3 more stops, you just put it into boost mode. And what boost mode is going to do is going to set that light up at full power, all 750 watts, fill the capacitors to the top, and you're ready to go. That's why you heard it beep just then. Hang on a second, I'll do it again without talking so you can hear what I'm saying. So I just switched it over to eco mode. You didn't hear a beep. So let's dump the capacitor, or let's dump the flash. Cool. So now you heard it beep, you heard it recycle in eco mode, but whenever you go to boost mode and I accept it, you'll hear it beep again as it totally fills up. So I'm going to shut up for a second. So that was that little bit of extra it needed to finish filling the capacitors, and now you have a full power flash. And so when your first shot, I'm not 100% sure on this one, but I would suspect that we have it set up to where your first shot in eco mode after coming out of boost mode is going to not dump the capacitors completely, but I could be wrong on that one. I actually need to ask. And then you have your freeze mode. That's for your super fast flash durations. This thing is blazingly fast. You're talking about T5 times of up to 1/75,000th of a second in freeze mode. So you can stop a lot of action with this thing. And then, your full powers, you're talking about, 1/2000th of a second, which is nothing to scoff at. So one thing to always keep in mind with your freeze modes, freeze mode truncates the end of your flash pulse, which makes it a little blue. So something to keep in mind. One other thing that I like that we've been adding in this thing too, all the stuff, ready signals, control sounds, all the display brightness stuff. Actually, two things that I like that we've been adding. So we have a display orientation auto. So if you want to flip the light upside down, it'll flip the thing for you. But another thing that I really like is unit stats. So this thing will let you know how many times the unit's been flashed, how long it's just been running, and the power on, or so the power cycle count. Just some cool stuff to keep in mind. There's no way to reset it, and I thought about this for a second. I was like, oh, it'd be nice if you could reset it for your flash tube counts to kind of keep track of your flash tube. But what you really want with that unit stats is you want to be able to know how many times those capacitors have been charged and discharged. So since the capacitors don't get changed out, that makes sense that number can't be reset. So cool. And then the only other thing I wanted to show you, again, this unit is actually on the charger at the same time, and you would notice right down here at the bottom with the battery with the plug-in sign. If you've messed with the B10 before, you know that symbol, but that's letting you know that the unit is being charged at the same time. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
Nope. People
Cool.
are just excited to
Yeah.
see this new product.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We have some cool stuff that we're planning to do with it in the future. Kate and I went out and shot a wake surfer with it. We had it.
So
we had it, and there'll be some video stuff coming out with it on Instagram on the reels and stuff like that. But we kind of had it stand to the boat and then super clamp to the canopy of the boat. Held on real tight. Didn't actually have any worries with it. It did a really good job. So I'm trying to think if there's anything on this bad boy that I missed. Okay, so here's one of the things that now that I'm thinking. So this unit is not weatherproof. There's a lot of energy exchange in this thing. It needs to have air moving through it in order to keep it cool. There's, again, a lot of electricity. 750 watts is a lot of output to light up a flash tube, especially if you're planning on, popping it boom, 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 boom. So air comes into the back of the unit and blows out of the front of the unit. That's how we cool the unit. We suck air into the back, blow it through the front, and that keeps the unit cool. With that being like that, we can't seal the unit to make it water resistant. So if someone's going to ask, is this thing weatherproof? It is not weatherproof. So keep that in mind when you're taking this thing with you. Take adequate precautions if you're in a situation in which there might be precipitation. So something to keep in mind there. The front of it's going to come with a cap. It comes with a charger. Let's talk about the cases that it comes in the two configurations. So I'm going to slide this out of the way. And also I'll show you a size comparison between the B10, B10X Plus, since that's kind of the next light down in the rung. So if you buy the single kit unit, you're going to get this small carrying case, which is nice. You open it up, you have a place here for your chargers and stuff like that. Light goes in right there. Really nice little soft case. The dual kit comes with you can kind of see in comparison here, you have more space up top here, so there's actually some more storage space inside the unit, which is nice, but it comes with this nice big dual soft case, again with two slots. Again, I still have some of my plastic and stuff in there that for some reason I've hung on to, but it's got a shoulder strap, it's got places for your chargers or some other stuff that you might need. It's a nice little case to carry your Pro-B3 in. So those are your two configurations. It's going to come in. It's going to come in a single or a double. It's going to come with a charger. It's going to come with a battery. The charge time on the battery is 90 minutes from dead to completely full. But again, the upside is you can shoot and charge the unit at the same time, giving you the ability to continue working if you're finding yourself getting low on battery, or if you're in a studio situation and you want to run the continuous light for a long time. For me, it's important because when I'm photographing people, if it's dark in the studio and I don't have a modeling light or continuous light running, I can't close down the subject's pupils. And sometimes, large pupils in the eyes, not super flattering. So that's why I really like that. I like being able to shoot and charge it at the same time for those reasons. So now let's talk about the size comparisons between a B10 and the Pro-B3. Let me make sure I'm in the shot. Here we go. Cool. And I think the easiest thing to do is actually take the handle off the B10. So I can kind of set it right on top of it so you can see kind of what's happening. So weight-wise, this unit is 8.5 pounds. It is not a super lightweight flash. The B10, by comparison, is much lighter weight. So I'm trying to kind of get my hands out of the way so you can see the difference there. So it's pretty substantial. It might actually be a B10X Plus and a B10 put together. Hold on, I got to see this now that I'm actually looking at this. So let's see. I've never actually done this before, so let's see kind of what we're looking like. I mean, no promises. It's almost a B10X and a B10 worth of light. It's a big boy, but with the higher grade components, the more capacitors needed to give this thing more output, it has to be a bigger flash. It just has to be. There's no where else to put all the capacitors and all the things that you need inside of this thing to convert the energy into flash power and come out at the high powers that people want. So again, this thing is meant for taking it into all on location shoots where you need a light that can withstand the trip with you, that can take you really pushing it to its limits and giving you enough output to achieve certain things that you might be trying to achieve, especially if there's some distances. This is going to be the light for you. Again, not the lightest thing in the world, but in order to get the kind of outputs that you're getting out of this unit, you have to give something up, and that thing that you're giving up with this one is weight. So again, brilliant light, a little heavy, so something you have to keep in mind if you want for yourself. Now, I will say this too. This light is not for everyone. It was not made for everyone. So don't feel like just by seeing it with 750 watts that you have to go get one. Now, if it does the job for what it is that you want to do, awesome. Get one, get 10, get as many as you need to do your work. But going with something like a B10 could be dynamite. And then in the cases that come up in which you need more power than what you would normally need for your job, rent this thing. You can, I talked to a lot of our sales reps at Profoto. Almost all the rental houses have these already in stock and ready to rock and roll. I know that there's a dealer or two that took almost all of their units and put them straight into rental and sold one. So they are available for rental already. So if it's something that you're like, I can't, the price tag I can't justify for how much I think I would use it, then rent it for the times that you do need it. And if you are one of the photographers that need everything that this light does, this exists for you. Any questions or anything?
Does it fit inside of a B10X Plus backpack?
I've never tried to put inside a B10X Plus backpack. I've got one right here. Is this my personal one? Because my personal one's all configured up weird. I have like 9 backpacks underneath this cart. This one's not my personal one. My personal one's inside, actually.
Your personal one's a lot heavier than that.
Yes. My personal one has a lot of stuff in it. Here, let's see. I haven't tried to put it in the backpack. I will tell you that if it goes in the backpack, it's vertical and it's not horizontal. Let's see. Let's go. And I can also tell you this: if it goes in the backpack, only one goes in the backpack, not multiples. Let's take out the center dividers because I can already tell that none of this stuff is gonna do it. Everyone loves Velcro on the microphone. So I'll hold it up for everyone to see too if it goes in there. Okay, cool. It does fit in the bag vertically. I want to kind of hold it up so you can kind of see how much space you have left. So it goes in the backpack vertically. Maybe I should get closer. I just don't want to drop it out because I don't have any dividers in there. Does that look like anything?
Yeah.
Looks just dark. Cool. So it goes in there like this. You still have a little bit of space up here, so you could throw, you could throw a divider back in here if you want to, and maybe keep some batteries or something like that. That's actually probably a good size for a spare battery right there. So you could throw it in the backpack if you wanted, and then maybe you could flip it up. It's going to bump into your back a little bit like this, but that would give you some more side space if you don't mind it. So you can get one in the backpack. Definitely not 2. Could you get 2 in there? Where's my second one?
No way.
I'm going to grab a D3 just because I don't want to take the second one off just right now. There's no way, but I'm just curious. I'm a curious fellow. What if we go?
What are the operating temps? Temperatures?
Like what operating temps? Like, can you take it out in the field with?
He says looks ideal to take to a park at the snow.
Yeah, I mean, I think we pulled this stuff up just because I can't remember every single one of the numbers.
Yeah.
So, but I do have them here. Let's see what they say. Just kind of looking through for that's connectivity, continuous light, powering, that's battery capacity. Oh, here we go. Operating temperatures for you Celsius users from 0 to 35. And for us Fahrenheities, it's saying 32 to 95 is the recommended. As far as anything else you might want to do, that's on you. So I can tell you what will happen if a light goes into thermal. I don't know what it does when it gets super cold. I think the thing that you have to worry about in the cold is battery life. Lithium-ion batteries don't love the cold. So, but one of the things that's going to happen if you're in a situation where it's really hot and the unit's starting to overheat, all Profoto lights have kind of a thermal shutdown mode, so they'll start turning off certain things or start slowing certain things down. So the first thing that'll happen is if you're running your continuous light, it'll turn it off. The second thing that'll happen is if you're pop, 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 it will slow down your recycling speed significantly to make sure that it doesn't go into thermal. And then if it's just so hot and you're pushing it so hard, the unit will finally just turn itself off to protect itself. It will do everything it can to make sure that you don't burn your light up. So it does have a thermal shutdown process, just like all of our stuff. Those are the recommended operating temperatures on our website. Go above and beyond them at your own risk. Is all I can say. But that being said, I know a lot of people who've used these things in the snow, or used our lights in the snow, for example. There's a fine young gentleman that I've been chatting with on Instagram who showed me some of his snowboard work, and it's very cool. Any other questions?
That's it.
Cool. It's a very straightforward light. Nothing, I mean, I would say nothing too crazy, but it's a crazy light. Like, it's very powerful. Oh, by the way, I was able to shove a second light into this backpack. I just wanted to show the absurdities of this, because there's no way that you would ever walk around like this.
Very heavy.
It's heavy. It's really heavy. So I alternated them.
Oh my goodness.
I alternated them for you. There's two in there. I don't know if the back closes, because the handles stick up.
Now we have to know.
The handles stick up quite. No, the back doesn't. I can't zip it. I can't zip it. It's one light. It's one light in on its side, and then you might have some space to throw like a pair of socks or something in there if you need. But you can get one in the backpack, so that helps a little bit. You can throw your camera stuff in a roller, or you can put those in a roller and roll along with you. Again, crazy powerful light, made for, extreme circumstances, going out, venturing, needing a light that can kind of handle a lot of the stuff that you could possibly throw at it, giving you a ton of output, a ton of speed as far as your freezing abilities. It's going to give you a lot of range to turn the unit down if you need to be a little bit more subtle, a little more precise with your flash. Super heavy grade components. So a quartz flash tube that's going to give you 4 times the life, eco mode, which is going to help kind of give you, again, 4 times the life on those components, and then you can throw it into boost if you need every bit of the output that the unit has.
Perry says, I hope it's not a bummer for Texas heat.
I don't think it will be. I think it'd be. I think it'd be fine in Texas heat. Again, they're pretty good. If you find yourself in a situation, just bring yourself kind of like a little. You could. Oh, an umbrella is way smarter.
Yeah, we've done that. I
was gonna say bring a flag. An umbrella is way smarter. You could. Honestly, you could keep just for giggles to show you real fast. You could honestly keep like a multi-arm or something in your bag. Like a multi-arm in your bag and a super clamp, and you could just clamp up an umbrella if you needed to.
Sorry, you're going there.
Oh, sorry. But I'm very tricky. But you could just take like one of these articulating arms and put a couple super clamps on it and throw an umbrella over it if you need to. If it's if it's like 110, 120 degree like midday shot and you have to be there and you need the light, get a little bit of shelter. I mean, that's pretty spicy. Ooh, I don't want to do that. That's pretty spicy, so I probably would refrain from that. But no, it's, again, the components are heavy duty, they're high grade. This should last a long time. Again, if the flash tube were to break, user replaceable. The front glass were to break, user replaceable. Dome option. You have both user replaceable stand adapter and handle if those were to break, which the handle I could see because it's kind of jutting out a little bit. If you drop the unit and lands on the handle, I could imagine that'd be the first thing that goes. But again, really robust flash. I'm pointing to a flash that's not even on the camera. Let me just throw it back on the stand real fast. Once I get it out of this backpack that I've crammed 2 lights into. So again, 250 full power flashes on the battery. Able to be shot and charged at the same time if you needed. Again, remember that when you're judging recycle speeds and you're judging flash power, that this is a 750 watt flash and not a 500 watt flash like the B1X. So if you were to take this light and turn the power down to a 500 watt light equivalent, you're getting 30% more recycling speed and battery life equivalent to, if not greater than what you would get from the B1X. So you're getting more light, more speed, more battery power, way better flash durations, light years better flash durations, in a light that can kind of stand the test of time, firmware updatable, able to be controlled with the Profoto app. You have all of the Air X options, so you can take photos with it with your iPhone. You can update over the air with Bluetooth. You can see the power settings of your light from your controller. So all the things that you've come to expect from modern day Profoto stuff in a very, very heavy duty yet portable light. So we good? Cool. Thank you all for hanging out with us. We have a lot more cool things happening every single week. And then we'll get into next year, and then we'll do more cool things and, you know, keep things rolling, making cool stuff, creating cool images, showing you how to do it. If you have any suggestions for things that you want to see, be it equipment that you think we should make. Actually, I think we have a suggestion box. I don't have the link to throw it up here on the thing right now, but maybe I'll go throw it in the, maybe I'll throw it in the description of the video after I'm done here. I'll go find it. But we have a suggestion box where if there's products that you want to see or improvements that you think that we could make, we can go in there and people can vote on them so that we can see how much the demand is there and make those moves. If there's stuff that you want to see on Geared Up, if you want to see us shoot certain things, if you want to see a certain style of something done, more emphasis on certain modifiers, you can DM me on Instagram. Kate's going to throw that up on the screen as I'm signing off so that you can do that. Shoot me a DM. If you have any other questions too, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I love talking to y'all. It's a blast. In the meantime, I hope you have an awesome rest of your week. It's weird because we're doing Geared Up and it's totally Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have an awesome next day and a half of your week. And we will see you next week on Geared Up with more fun stuff that we like to talk about. Again, feel free to DM me. Have an awesome one. Peace out, everybody.